And now we're going to go on. For those of you who already have your strategic business plan in hand, congratulations. Now that's the one that we're really going to be using right now. And we're going to be using one other thing. We're going to be incorporating all of this that we've been doing with your daily checklist. Now, you are using a daily checklist, right? We haven't been talking about that, and we haven't been talking about it because I take it for granted you're using it. That's the only way you can possibly organize working a business from home, an online business. You need a daily checklist. We're going to do a quick review of how it works. My friend, good friend Janet Legere, she teaches it all the time. If you are not using a checklist, then I can guarantee you what's happening with you is you're flailing around out there on the internet and you're not having any results. You need to use a checklist. Checklist works very simply. Here's a quick run through. You make your checklist the evening when you finish your day's work. You make a list of all the things that you want to accomplish the next day. Now, it's not just a list. At that point, you allot a certain amount of time to each item on the list. You prioritize the list, and you say, okay, for item number 1, I'm going to do that from 8 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock in the morning. Give myself that amount of time. Item number 2, from 10 to 11:30. You give yourself a certain amount of time for each item on the list through your working day. If it doesn't make it on the list in the time allotted for your work, fine. It'll go on the next day. The next morning, you get up, you start on number 1. Now, if the time runs out, you don't continue working on it. You stop, and you take the part of it that's not completed and put it at the top of your next day's list. And you move on to the next section of your work. And you do that through the day until you've completed your day's work and you are out of time. And then you stop. Anything left over goes on the next day. This is your checklist. And this is the way you need to be organizing every day. Now, you use this in conjunction with your mission statement, which just simply sits on the wall so that you can glance over it at it and you get a little bit of reinforcement at any time that you might need it. Now, your strategic business plan, of course, sits in the drawer, and if your mission statement isn't quite enough, you can take a few minutes and go into your strategic business plan and refresh yourself on what you need to be doing next and why you're working on it. So, those are the 3 things that we're talking about here, and we're talking now mainly about the strategic business plan and how to use it in conjunction with your daily checklist.